Hey, what's going on, obscure mic people? Bark coming back at you with another microphone test review, whatever you want to call what I do on this channel, which is debatable all the time. Does he just make dirty jokes? Does he actually review the mics? Does he really talk about it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You get to hear it. You get to hear it. So let's talk about today's microphone. Had a fan of the channel, if there is such a thing, asked me if I would check out the Music Villa MV-3. As you can see, it is very SM7B like, and it's got that aesthetic. So you see that and you instantly want to know more. Like, what kind of ripoff is this? Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Copycat all the way through, sort of. But Music Villa sent this and another microphone over for me to check out. Now, I will preface this by saying a lot of mic companies and a lot of microphones out there are rebrands and rebadges and reiterations of other microphones. I think it's the Advanced Audio DM7 that this microphone right here is the same as, or a copy of. Same grill, same capsule, I think. Same body, same just about everything. But the Advanced Audio DM7 has switches in the back, as does this one, which I'll show you in just a moment. But the switches on the DM7 work, and that microphone runs about $279. The switches on the back of the Music Villa MV-3 do not work, and they say that they bypass that to put more money into the capsule. I can't state it as fact, but I don't believe that's the case. I believe the case is they bypass the switches and the internal circuitry needed for those switches to save money. This runs $175. Let me get on record now as saying that doesn't bother me. That's fine by me. You can do post-processing. You can add a low-cut filter with just about any DAW. Audacity's a free one. They got low-cut filters on there. So to get this aesthetic and this look and maybe the sound, we'll talk about that here soon, for $175, I'm not going to point fingers and blame. It is what it is. But I am 99% sure this is a rebranded, rebadged Advanced Audio DM7, which is probably just a microphone that they bought from a company in China that is distributed as rebadges all over the place. So is this an original mic? I don't believe so. Music Villa seems like a great store. I appreciate them for sending this stuff down. I'm not going to pass judgment here. A music store building its own microphone, maybe they did build it with help from a manufacturer. They didn't build it in-house. Either way, it's all good. It's all fine. It's $175. The look of it is what a lot of folks desire, except you don't have the cord that runs from point A to point B. The XLR's in the back of the microphone. Again, it's not a big deal, half the product we use is a rebadge something half the time. So it is what it is. I'm thankful that there's an option that has the aesthetic for $175 for folks that don't have $400. Granted, it doesn't claim to be an SM7B, and it's not. You can hear the sound. It's solid. It's fine, at least to my ears on first listen. But moving on from that, let's talk about the microphone itself. I just don't want there to be any surprises. Like, you buy this mic and you're like, oh, I found a mic that's the exact same that the switches work. Yeah, but it's $100 more. I'd rather save $100 than bypass those switches myself. So anyways, again, thanks to Music Villa for sending this over. I just want to get the facts out there. And I believe them to be facts. That this is a rebadged Advanced Audio DM7, which is, again, from some other manufacturer. Doesn't matter to me. It's all about what you pay, what you get, and is it good? Is it going to work for you? So right off the rip, I'm going to say the build quality of this is almost identical to the SM7B. If the SM7B is a 10 on build quality, I will give this an 8.5. Reason being, you've got this, this grill is a lot softer than the one on the SM7B. Again, not a big deal. Don't drop your mic. The windscreen, this is not an SM7B windscreen. You can tell by the plastic and the foam. It's just a little cheaper feeling. We're talking half the price here. Of course it's a little cheaper looking. The metal that the body's in, I have no qualms about. It doesn't feel, again, if the metal on the Shure SM7B is a 10, this is an 8.5. There's nothing wrong with this. It's solid as can be. Maybe not as thick as the SM7B, but it's pretty damn close. The knobs on this thing, the tightening knobs, these are plastic. I believe the SM7Bs, I don't know, are they plastic or metal? I'll tell you in a voiceover video for the unboxing that I'm going to do. But these are plastic. The knobs are a little lesser quality, but it's not like it's bad quality. It's fine. It's actually it's all good. All good. The yoke mount is metal. It's a very well put together unit. XLR on the back. Couple switches up here, which is basically like a presence and a low cut. They don't work because, you know, save $100. I'm good with it. Let's throw... Actually, before we throw some tests in there, I should probably get the B-roll video out of the way with the SM7, not an SM7B. I'll have one of those tomorrow. SM7's damn close, though. Let's do a little introduction, open this thing up and show you everything a little more up close, and also hear the SM7 while we're at it in some B-roll. All right, so everything comes in this white, very plain box with the MV-3 and Music Villa logo on it. And when you open said box, you get a nice foam topper. Good old foam topper. Nice and thick. There we got the microphone, just the microphone inside of the foam insert to add some light for the Crimson Ghost. All metal. Pretty heavy. Good weight to it. Got the yoke mount on the side. Full metal there as well. The same kind of screw connection as the SM7B. Easy to put on a boom arm. And then on the back you got an XLR port and some switches that do not work. Not on this model anyways. Got a high pass and presence boost. Again, they do not work. They do absolutely nothing. Take the foam popper off and you've got a very open metal mesh grill. And you can see the capsule down in there. Looks like a very typical dynamic capsule. Very good build quality though. The grill would probably dent if you dropped it, so put that foam on, hang that mic up. Alright, so now you see everything that I'm kind of talking about as far as the front, back, side to side, the microphone. It is definitely really good quality. No qualms there. It's not an SM7B, but it's not $400. Let's talk about the sound. So my first thoughts here are, it sounds pretty good. I mean, for $175 and it being a dynamic, it needs to sound pretty good. I actually do think it does sound pretty good. It's not SM7B smooth, but it's not far off. It is not SM7B flat and well-rounded, but it's not terribly far off. And again, we don't just want an SM7B. If you're going to release something that looks like it, make it sound different, and it does sound different. Probably because the capsule is cost a hell of a lot less than the SM7B. But I'm not the biggest SM7B fan. I like a little bit of flavor in my sound, and there's some flavor here. So let's go ahead and throw it through the riggers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pineapple pizza. I think the plosive rejection works just as well, almost. Again, Shure 10, if Shure is a 10. This is an 8.5, so it's pretty darn close. Let's get right on top of the microphone, and this is what it sounds like when you are right on top of the microphone for that sweet proximity effect. Let's take the windscreen off. I know we did it once already, but 1, 2, 3. All right, so you can get a little more open and airy sound by taking this off. Not quite as boxy sounding with this off. And I think this sounds pretty good. I think it sounds better without the windscreen. Actually, I like the sound of it a lot better without. Big difference when you throw this on, but not bad. Let's go ahead and put this back. Now we're going to do some off-axis rejection. We're going to turn the microphone 90 degrees so you can get that sweet off-axis rejection. We're going to do 180 degrees on the microphone so you can hear the off-axis rejection. And another 90-degree angle so you can hear the off-axis rejection. There we go. For the sake of knowing, I do have a heater on in the studio. I will turn that off in a few minutes. I don't know if I need to, though. I think this is rejecting that sound quite well, if I had to say so. It's probably fine. But there is a heater in the studio. Let me know if you hear it. If you do hear a little bit of hiss, it's not the mic. I've got it plugged into a Zoom P4, and I've got the preamp. I've got the gain cranked up to about a 5.5. So this does not need an absolute ton of gain to get good levels. So there's a difference between it and the SM7B as well. A cheaper interface is probably going to run this just fine. You do not need the same amount of gain as you would need for an SM7B. Let's go ahead and tap the microphone, just because the metal is at least somewhat less quality-wise than the SM7B, but I don't think it matters because it's still good. Let's tap on it. Well, tapping the windscreen, of course I'm going to get some noise, but boom arm. Table. And we're also going to do some keyboard noise here. Off-axis rejection on the keyboard. I'm going to type while I talk and talk while I type. Yep. All right. So there. There's some tests. Man, I don't mind this microphone at all. I think if you want the look and you want good sound still, I really don't have any qualms about the sound. I kind of quite like it. It's been a minute before I put a dynamic in my ear holes that I like a good bit, but this is pretty good. I think for $175, you could do a hell of a lot worse, especially if you need a good podcasting microphone in an untreated room. Thought the off-axis rejection was solid. Everything about it really is solid for way less than an SM7B. And man, I love a good built quality microphone, especially with good plosive protection. Again, the sound is not perfect, but it's good. It's a really good dynamic microphone. So all in all, I think it's a really good buy for $175, and you can get it on reverb.com from Music Villa. Not an Amazon deal. There's no affiliate links for this one because, again, Music Villa is a shop out of... I do appreciate the folks at Music Villa sending this over. Sadly, I have to send it back. I actually kind of wish this was a keeper. I wish it was one that I could keep because I would use it probably here and there, I think. Like in my untreated space at home, I would probably use this here and there. I mean, I think it sounds pretty good. And with a little bit of EQ, I think it could sound real good. So thank you guys for sending this over. I've got another one from them as well that you'll be seeing on the channel soon. But for those that want that SM7B look without the SM7B price, but still gives you a pretty decent, good enough sound, I think this is a banger. It's kind of a banger for $175. Kind of a banger. Music Villa MV-3 is out of here. Bark is out of here. I'll see you guys next time on Obscure Mics. Peace out.